Failure was something Rocky couldn't stand. Whenever one of his inventions didn't work or he gets something wrong during the mission, he took it hard. It wasn't that he's a perfectionist. He's okay with messing up on things that didn't seem important, like a game or competition. But failing somebody close to him, that's one of the worst of all. His dislikes of failure all seem back to his days at the orphanage for pets. Every day he would try to get his hardest to get adopted by a family looking to take a pet home with him. And every day he failed. For a long time, Rocky didn't think he would get adopted until one day he was cleaning up the orphanage like he always did. He met Ryder. The mixed breed had been collecting trash outside the orphanage to use his inventions when he saw Ryder. Chicken said in Rocky's room. He explained what each of them did and have fun playing with Ryder. Ryder quickly offended Rocky a place in the Paw Patrol as their recycling pup, as well as a home to live in. That's the happiest day in Rocky's life. Paw Patrol is his new home, and the pups were his new family. And Rocky promised on the day he arrived at the lookout that he would never fail his new family. Yet here I am, looking for a friend who I failed horribly, thought Rocky as he watched Ryder Alice ask Alice and his friends at the playground if they had seen Marshall. The pups had thought before, even argue at times, but they never had something like this happen. Looking back, Rocky couldn't help but realize, but their words were way too harsh. Yeah, Marshall's clumsy behavior did mess things up a lot, but he's still a good friend. Besides, everybody on the team had their quirks. Rubble was always trying to act more mature and compensate for being the youngest. Zuma had a speech impairment. Sky and Chase obviously had crushes on each other, but either could admit it. And Rocky himself was afraid of water. The more he thought about it, how foolish he and the other pups had been, more it drove Rocky to find Marshall and apologize. If it's were that easy. They had been driving through the town all day, yet there was no single sign of Marshall. They had asked their residents from Kate and to Mr. Goodwill, but they didn't see him. The mayor promised to get all the townsfolk to look for him, but Rocky was pretty sure Marshall was long gone from Adventure Bay. He wanted to tell Ryder, but he was too nervous too. Throughout their search, Ryder barely said anything to Rocky. His angry face from earlier was still fresh in his pup's mind. Ryder had been disappointed, scolding even if things get too rough, but never as angry as he when he learned what they had done. It made Rocky feel even guilty by the fact that he had failed his owner, the one who gave him his new life. Still, despite his fear of angering Ryder further, finding Marshall was too priority. When Ryder came back to his ATV, Rocky sat in his recycling truck while rubbing his paws. One of the Alex friends said that they saw Marshall's fire truck heading down to Church Street. Let's see if anything of the shops have seen him. Ryder? I don't think we'll find him in Adventure Bay. He had hours ahead of us. And consider some of the people we talked to said they saw him heading in the direction of the exit to town. I think it's safe to assume that he's long gone from this location. Rubble Ryder rubbed his chin before nodding. You make a good point. Chase and Sky are in that area, so we'll join up with him. Do you think he's heading back to his parents? Where do they live anyway? Asked Rocky. Somewhere down south of the state. We didn't find him in the evening. I'll alert him. I'll alert them, said Ryder, getting on his ATV. Lowering his head, Rocky asked, Ryder, do you hate us for what we did? Rocky, I could never hate you. You're my best friends. I'm just upset that you would say that to Marshall after everything he's done. Why would you say those things anyway? I don't know. I guess we're just angry that his mistakes kept breaking stuff. It's not a very good excuse. I know. I bet he hates us. Marshall never hates you. Don't you remember when he took care of you? When you get bullied? Heading back home on three good legs was a pain. But it's better than depending on a badly injured one. Rocky winced as he felt the bite marks on his right front leg hurt worst. As he walked up the hillside towards the lookout, each time he had something else touch it. It was stinging like crazy to the point where Rocky and nearly in tears. It wasn't as bad as a shiner on his left eye, though. As he reached in front of a lookout, all he had to do was to get a doghouse and to avoid being seen by other pups. Thankfully, they're all focused on Chase, testing out on his super spy outfit and gadget. Rocky was about to sneak away when Marshall noticed him and rushed over. Hey, Rocky, you want to see Chase's use his Suction cup boots? Maybe later. I'm just gonna go to bed. You okay? You seem off. Where's your hat? I lost it. Now if you excuse me. Lost it? Don't worry. We'll use Chase's nose to find it. Marshall reached out for his injured leg and jerked it. Rocky yelped in pain before falling into his side whimpering. Rocky, you okay? Whoa, what happened? Help. Right, guys. Right. Guys, Rocky's injured. What happened? I swear, I just touched him and he was suddenly in pain. It looks like he got beat up. Ryder, sir, we got an injured paw patroller who needs help. It's Rocky. I'm on my way, Chase. Keep him still I get there. It's okay. Ryder's coming. Feeling better, Walkie? Yeah, much better. Rocky, how did you get injured? I took a closer look at the wound. It is definitely from the bite. A dog bite specifically. Then you mean someone attacked Rocky? What kind of a jerk would do that? It's okay, Rocky. It's okay, Rocky. You can tell us. It's Butch, Crash, and Sharper. They ambushed me, called me a nerd, beat me up, and took my hat. Those three? I should have known. Who are they? They're there are three dogs that live at the junkyard near town. They're always causing trouble, like stealing food and knocking over trash cans, or bully dogs smaller than them. Yeah, they made one of my speech all the time. They say I talk like this because I'm retarded. They what? Okay, I had enough of these three. We had to do something to them. Right, sir. Right. Those three want to keep hurting our friends. I say we teach them a lesson and get Rocky's hat back. Am I right? I know where these creeps hang out. I can use my sniffer to sniff them out. Wait for us. I got to see this. Marshall, you coming along? You go on ahead, Ryder. I'm going to watch over Rocky. Okay, be back as soon as we can. Are you feeling better? Not as bad as I did before, but better, thanks. There was a long silence between the two as either said anything to the other. Rocky wished that he was just alone so he could do something, but without his good leg or his eye, he was eliminated. Worst of all, he can't read or vent. This sucks. Why did you try to hide your injuries? And the fact you were being bullied by those jerk dogs. I. It's not the time that I've been bullied. I mean, back at the orphanage, I read a lot. I was very smart, but the other pups made fun of me for being smarter than them. So they used to make fun of me and hit me. Not as bad as this, though. It's full of bad memories, and he didn't like thinking about them. That wasn't very nice of them. But you're not an orphanage anymore. You're here in the Paw Patrol and with the rest of us. And we always look after each other. Right. Hey, Marshall. It's not that I don't appreciate it, but why would you ask to stay behind? Be- I felt you could use some company. Besides, I did hurt you after all. Do you want to do anything, eat, or play a game? I think I'm limited in what I can do, Marshall. I doubt I can even read. What if I read what if I read to you? That way you can still enjoy the story. You really to do that for me? Thanks. That's what friends are for. Now what book do you want? And thus the four musketeers had their swords over their heads and shouted, and for one and one for all. The fire pup had played each role as best as he could, even doing a few intimidation of the sword fights. If anything, it made the story even more interesting, and hearing it to read to them was an experience he didn't felt since. The caretaker at the orphanage first read him as a pup. It's one of the good few things that he was found at that time. It, and it's a caretaker who inspired his love for reading. That's a cool story. I really like it. D. Argeddon. He's so brave. Hey, maybe we could dress up like musketeers. You, me, Chase, and Rubble can be a four heroes. But what about Zuma and Sky? Well, I'm sure Zuma wouldn't mind being the rest boards or Kendo Witsu. And and we can have Sky be Malady do winner. Do you realize Guy will bite your ears off when she learns you to make you're a villain? Well, that would only prove my point. The two pups continued to laugh until they heard the others arrive home, and they greeted by them when they have entered the medical room. We're back. Mission accomplished. Thanks, guys. What happened to the jerks? Oh, they'll be tied up in the necks for the whole while. Good thing I have plenty of extras. Yeah, those three were begging and crying for us to let them down when we left them. I already called Mayor Goodwill about them, and she said they'll send to the pound for their action. Good riddance, is what I say. Um, can we have lunch, Ryder? Sure, come on, pups. I still need you to rest here for a few days. Rocky, I'll bring you a dinner. I'll bring your dinner to you. Okay, thanks for being a good friend. No problem. Ow, I'm okay. I totally forgot. How could I? Rocky, it's okay. You made a mistake. I promise we'll find Marshall and we'll bring back together as a family. Okay. You know, you're the reason he asked to be trained as our medical pup. Smiling as Rocky looked up at him and with a surprise on his face. He said he didn't want to see you or his other friends or get hurt, so he worked extra hard to help you guys if you get injured. I never knew. But I'm Marshall for you. Always wanted to help somebody. I was wrong. We're all wrong. Marshall is a heart. As a family, he's not a dope or an annoyance or a klutz. He's our friend of it. It's so many of the depend on him. Wish that he could just see Marshall to tripping and crashing into something. Anything he to just get this guilt off of my chest. Of his chest. Guys, Zuma here. There's a big storm heading towards Adventure Bay. It looks really bad. Thanks, Zuma. Everyone, we had to be careful. If the storm gets too big, we'll be in just as much danger as Marshall might be. Rock and I will meet you up with Chase and Sky. Ryder, sir, we also call Evers and Jake, just in case he'll head up the mountains. Great idea, Chase. Over and out. Hey, Ryder, what do you need? Everest, we had a big problem. Marshall's run away, and we can't find him. Dude, that's terrible. Why did he run away? It's a long story, but we do need your help in finding him. Can you check on your mountain if he's there on his way? We'll, we'll do our best, but Ryder, there's a big snowstorm coming in, and it combined with the thunderstorm coming with your end. It's gonna make it very hard to find Marshall. Please help us, Everest. It's me and the other pups' fault that this happened. We want our friend back. We'll do our best. Over and out. Think we'll find Marshall before the storm starts? I hope so, Rocky.